Peter chose to get their tickets at the Paris Travel Service office in London. He could just as easily have booked at his local travel agent. So let's go on a Paris weekend with Peter and Jill and see how Paris Travel Service make out in the Cupid business. First of all, to enjoy a Paris holiday, you've got to get there. Paris Travel Service take care of that, because the airport's only a short coach ride away, and the Skyways International plane takes under an hour to whisk them away to the start of that dream weekend. When Skyways set them down in Paris, it's rather late. But that's what Paris is. A late, late city that comes alive and stays alive all night long. And in the morning, at their Paris Travel Service approved hotel, they'll take a continental breakfast. They'd get eggs and bacon if they asked for it, but who wants to be so typically English? So it's coffee and croissants, and a chance to study the information that Paris Travel Service have included in their personal passport to Paris. And out into Paris, where the pavements are wide and made for people to wander along. Places for taking your time in, for pausing amongst the flowers, for admiring the pets and all the other unusual things that the French seem to take a delight in buying and selling. Just to wander aimlessly along, down to the Place de l'Opéra. To pay call at the Paris Travel Service office, we're English-speaking, or French-speaking if you fancy your chances. Paris Travel Service girls will help you plan a tour of the town. Central Paris, knocked down by Napoleon so that he could fire his cannons at any upstart revolutionaries, and rebuilt with a grace and style that leave most other cities gasping in admiration. Famous places, too well known to waste words on, but nevertheless breathtaking. If, like Peter and Jill, you're seeing them for the first time now. But if Jill can't wait to indulge her romantic notion of sitting watching the world go by from the terrace of a pavement cafe, the only problem is in deciding which one to choose. Still something else that she set her heart on. A bateau mouche, a boat trip along the River Seine. How does the song go? Under the bridges of Paris with you, make all my dreams come true. Notre Dame, the parish church of Paris, and one-time home of Quasimodo, the hunchback of Notre Dame. Was he perhaps just a trick of the light on one of the incredible gargoyles you'll find grinning at you high above the Ile de la City? And is this really a fisherman? Or is he a Paris Travel Service representative planted there to make Peter feel at home? At least he seems to have caught more fish than Jill ever sees on the breakfast table. Strolling on through the afternoon, along the left bank, deciding at their leisure what they'll do with the evening ahead. Maybe they'll spend it in one of the many nightclubs that Paris Travel Service have put on their recommended list. Quality entertainment, fair prices, no hidden extras. Nothing much is hidden here, come to think of it. And when an evening in Paris has put them in the mood for doing whatever it is that people do after an evening in Paris, then Paris is the perfect place to do it in, if you see what we mean. Paris Travel Service believe that, having laid everything on for you, there's a lot of fun to be had in leaving you to get on with it on your own. The Paris Metro is easy, efficient, and in some inexplicable way, very French. As French as boules, a kind of highly skilled marbles played with large metal balls. A good Sunday morning game can assume for a Frenchman something like the fervour of a cup final, and will keep him in excited conversation right through the following week. Funny? Well, what about cricket? No one seems too sure why Monsieur Eiffel built his tower. Certainly, he built it for the Paris exhibition of 1889, and it's been up there ever since. Maybe Monsieur Eiffel was just a great exhibitionist. But the tower draws visitors like a magnet, and once they've been to the top, they'll certainly know why. Paris, like every great city, is a window shopper's dream. But if there's one thing the French are famous for, it's their food. And if the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, then Paris is a girl's best friend. And what Jill can buy in the shops for them to eat on a picnic ought to make Peter her slave for at least a week. It'll certainly get him fit for the long climb up to Montmartre. There's a railway for the lazy. Up above Paris, in the old artist quarter, the Place du Tertre, focal point of a maze of winding streets crowded with character and with characters. And crowning the hill, and the price? Well, we honestly believe that you won't find anything to beat it. Let Paris Travel Service worry about the realities of life. It leaves you free to dream.